What up? What up? What up? How's everyone out there? And welcome to another installment of Why I Don't Have a Contract. My name is Eric Coffee. I'm your host, a host of the Govcon Giants podcast, where we teach everyday people how to win extraordinary contracts. If this is your first time reading or learning about us or knowing about what it is that we do, visit our website, govcongiants.com. We have courses, coaching, consulting. We even have business development services that we now offer. So I want everyone to take advantage. Take a look. If you your first time joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here with us today. We're gonna discuss some things that I think might make a lot of sense for folks out there, and so I just want people to know if you have any questions about any of our offerings, visit our website govcongiants.com. Here's our courses page, and I want to put that up first and foremost so you know it exists because there are still people out here that ask me, Eric, do you sell any courses, any training? Yes, yes, and yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're new to visiting us on live, one of the things that we always like to do is we want people to tell us a little bit about themselves. So right now we've got 22 people watching. Introduce yourself, tell us who you are, tell me about your industry, your space, and also let me know where you're from. So, for example, I see Chicago Rilla Construction, which their name spells who they are. Uh, and so I didn't really have to figure that out. But for most folks out there, we don't really know who you are. So, Chicago Rilla Construction, remodel here out of Chicago. Um, if you got anything in this state, don't hesitate to email me, Workers' Comp Insurance, MBE license. So that's a great way to introduce yourself and let people know who you are. And also, I could put you up on the big screen. So as this content lives on forever, people are going to know Chicago Real Construction. Now, I will ask a question because it says, "Hey, I'm Ray the remodeler," and then it says, "You do workman's compensation insurance." So that they don't go together in my eyes and when I'm reading that. So I would really love to have a conversation about that. And so one of the things that we do on these Wednesday calls is we actually invite people up to speak. I don't know if you're ready with your backgrounds, your cameras, your hair, whatever, but we do invite people to come up and speak on these Wednesday calls. I love interaction. So I definitely welcome that interaction from folks out there. And so I'm going to drop in the chat while you put your name in here and where you're from and what you do. I'm going to drop in here also in the chat an invitation for people who may want to come up and speak and ask some questions. So let me drop this in the chat. I'm going to go away. I'm going to show this on the screen. I'm going to turn on some cameras here locally and get that set up. And while I do that, I'll be right back. Tell me who you are, what you do, and the city you're from. All right, who do we have? What, we got shy people here? Like, who do we have? I don't see one person in here that tells me that's put in here who's following instructions. Let's see my man Liam. Liam, provide distribution and market research services, defense aircraft component OEMs targeting DLA out of Boston. Look. So Liam says he provides distribution and market research services. All right. For aircraft, OEMs targeting DLA. A lot of people out here talk about selling products to the government. DLA's a huge buyer of products, especially, again, if you're a manufacturer. Who else? My man Colin, branding, marketing, Washington, D.C. All right. Who else? Who else? Man, y'all shy. Come on. You got to tell us what you do. Who else? It's interesting. When I was today when I was thinking up the title, and it's funny, all this stuff comes to me from my experiences. I think my camera's too close. So all of my topics for these conversations come to me from experiences that I have. And recently, I've had a couple experiences back to back with companies uh, reaching out to people from my podcast and asking them to partner. And they're reaching out to them, they're asking them to partner, and they don't have their stuff together. And so I actually considered making this topic today. What does it take to work with large primes? But I thought, I would switch it up and I would discuss more of focusing on your strengths because I think it sounds better. But maybe if I took the topic on fear, that might get a lot more people to show up. So I flipped a coin on what the topic should be today. All right. Jaquan Harrison, low voltage out of Austin, Texas. Nice. Who else? Robert. Yes. I saw you last night, though. I jumped in on the Tuesday call last night, so I saw you, Robert. But yeah, you missed us while we were in DC. By the way, we're doing an event in Miami. We're doing an event in Miami in 7 days. I'll be speaking at the SAMI conference. All right. Who else? What up? All right. Indra, Connecticut, provide administrative management, janitorial services. Nice, Indra. I also work out of Connecticut. I work at New London Sub Base. So I'm down there working at New London Sub Base. Who else? What else? Who do we have out here? Sink or swam. I know it's not your name. I just thought that was funny. Horizons Consulting in Indianapolis. My man Robert says, I got a first consulting meeting coming up in 2 weeks, and they are prime. Good stuff. Harlington, Texas. See, you got to put like all the information at once. Who else we have in here? I see you, Ayden, in the chat. Rico, Teamer, NHQS Corp office at Medical Supply, San Antonio, Texas, minority owned. We've got our local certifications. Good stuff. All right, let me bring up my first person that is brave enough to come on here today. Hey, what's going on, man? How are you, Ayden?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm doing wonderful. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Wait, we got 2 or 3 people from Chicago today, huh?
That was mine.
You changed the name.
Yeah, that's them my 2 sons' name. So that's the name of the construction company.
All right. So you got a construction company out of Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Nice. What was the name of the company I was up there working with in Chicago? Nosa. What's Nosa's company name?
Nosa.
Nosa's company. Jeez, he does a lot of work out of Chicago. But talk to me.
Well, I'm just starting off.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm building everything up from the ground up with no support, doing everything myself, putting every dollar I got into marketing.
Yep.
Everything, so I'm trying to get my name out there, and I've been seeing you doing your thing, and been trying to get in contact with just people that's going, bring that next step into what I'm trying to do.
So tell me, what is it you're trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to, well, I don't want to do this like a nickel and dime type of hustle. I really want to take my remodeling, specialties to the next level, all the way to those government contracts.
All right. So tell me, what do you do now?
We just done a 6 unit on 79th and Woods. Demoed the whole thing. Once when we waiting on the guy with the framing for the framing and the drywall. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you demoed it, and what'd you do? And what else you got to do inside that project? You're doing it's your project. You're doing the whole thing.
No, actually, it's not.
But what are you doing? What parts of it are you doing?
We doing a demo aspect of it and we may be doing the drywall. So
Okay.
hopefully we get the drywall.
Okay. All right. Now, when you started this business, like, how did you get into it? Hey, man, I want to know. We got to
Look,
talk about
okay, I'm gonna give you the truth then, since
it. Okay.
this for everybody, even those that came from where I came from.
Yeah.
I was, in the street. So I got tired of the corner, and I asked a guy had drove past in the truck. He had a bunch of debris on the truck, and my man's he had knew him. So I asked him like, who is this guy? You know this guy. He said, yeah, he be doing a little hauling, clean out, trash outs. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm tired. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want
Right.
to. So
Right.
I go to him, and then he started teaching me the ins and out, how you get your truck, the LLC, where you got to go get your cars, how to make flyers, all the way
Mhm.
down to the measurement of the room, how much you gonna charge for a measurement, how much you gonna basically, just how much
Right.
if you measure out the room, how much you gonna charge, all of
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's been going on for about 3 to 4 years. I've been, yeah, I've been.
That's nice.
Now we got trucks and we just looking for the big jobs now. Like the
So you
six
have trucks
unit.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it worked.
Yes. Oh yeah, they work.
No,
You
listen.
gotta ask.
You gotta
Yeah.
have, right? No, listen, my buddy, he used to hustle, and he actually used to kick in guys' house, like he kick in the dope boy's house and rob the dope boys and stuff. And so that's a little scary for me. I'm like, oh, hey, but either way, he turned out to be one of the top electrical contractors in the city. And so he said, "Man, I ain't never made this kind of money in my life on the streets." And
You
so,
don't.
it's not. It's different. It's different.
You
You
don't.
know. But going back to your question, now that you've got the trucks and you got demo, I have a podcast that the guy was on my podcast. Now he started off in trucks, right? And he was doing the dump trucks, and he was, sitting around waiting for the guys to bring out the stuff, put in the truck, and then he'd haul it off. And while
Yeah.
he was sitting there waiting, he noticed that like all the construction guys kept working. And so he could
Yeah.
only make money per load, right? Sitting in the truck. So maybe he's in the truck, he got 8 loads for the whole day. But the guys in the construction was kept working and doing, more and more projects. And so he asked that same thing you did. He asked that guy, hey man, how do I do that? Right. And he became curious like a kid. You got to be curious. And I
Yeah.
tell you all the time, I say, look, do not get out of that kid mode. Because when you start to get like high and mighty and like you think you know everything, and you start asking questions, people start wanting to help you. As long as you keep smiling like you're smiling and being innocent, you know what I'm saying? People are gonna keep being
Yeah.
game. They're not gonna see you as a threat or anything. They're gonna be like, oh, this guy, he just want to learn. So they keep, sharing the information, sharing and sharing and sharing. So,
Yeah.
that's a good story for me. That someone, Murray, can you drop that podcast in here so he can have it? But the other thing that I think about, if you're doing like remodeling jobs and demo stuff, then probably since you've already got your trucks, you got the business set up, that kind of work the county gives out a lot of in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, I
What's the
know.
problem? What's the problem?
Um, we haven't ran into
You haven't
nobody
applied.
or applied. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Uh, the research that I do, I can only whatever I think about, I research. Whatever I see that you put up, I research, or even other guys, I research it. So, and I try to ask, and sometimes you ain't gonna get the answers from everybody.
All right, hold on. I got you. I got my guy for you right here. Hold on. I got somebody for you. I found it. I got a guy. He'll give you a chance out there. Hold on. I got it right here. Hold on. That's what I was doing. Okay. Here we go. I'm sharing right now. You said so. Your problem was you said you didn't know who to ask or what to ask.
Exactly.
Okay, no, and that's a legitimate issue that people have is they don't know who they should even be talking to.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like how that's sharing that screen. I'm gonna show you somebody.
All right.
All right, there you go. Nosha out of his company's called Bowa Construction. And
Okay.
I bet you know the address. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know why the website's not coming up.
Yeah, because I'm mainly in like the Chicago. Well, I live in the Chicago downtown area. So
Well, this guy, he's doing big things out there. He's doing, and I guarantee you, he's got programs that you can see the kind of stuff he's doing here.
yeah.
Minority Client Securities, big job, Fulton Market. He did about $400 million worth of projects. Here you go, right here. Where is it at? So this is a guy right here that I know for a fact. I've been to his offices. I've been to his building. I met with him. But he came out of Gilbane, the building group, and he went through their training. And so he
Mm.
did. Matter of fact, he built the Starbucks at y'all airport there in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah. So look. I mean, he's doing a lot of big work out there.
yeah.
And so he has programs that I guarantee you could probably go through some of their programs and stuff, and
Yeah.
they'll help people like you just getting started in this industry and start teaching you the game and how it works. Guarantee
Yeah.
it. Guarantee it. You know that I guarantee it. So that's one resource I have for you. The other one is the podcast that I have. I typically, we don't get into the I'll put you back on the big screen. Some other things, like I said, for you, I would. One of the things that you'd be surprised. There's a lot of older people that have been doing this a long time
Yeah.
that would help you, man. They'll love to help you, and you know, if you just go to the city of Chicago and you go to their small business offices, people will help you get registered to start doing work with the city. Guarantee it, for free.
Okay.
For free,
Okay.
right? Who's doing your paperwork? Who's doing your administration?
Uh,
You don't have nobody.
no, nobody. Nobody.
You don't have any money.
It's a start off. It's everything is.
No.
Uh,
It's okay. That's all
yeah.
right. I mean, but you don't have anyone that you went to school with that that went off to college. That I'm telling. Listen, I know a lot of people that you probably grew up with went to college and they're not making no money. You probably make way more money than them.
Uh, I typically, you know, I try to stay off, the
Social media.
social media, unless it's about the business. Other than that, I try to, because guys, I'm 28, so
Uh-huh.
guys my age, they still kind of like, partying and
I
all of
understand.
that. Like a lot of my friends, I had to really drop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Right.
so
No. Absolutely. Uh, so then you have to have someone help you with the paperwork. You got to have someone to help you with the paperwork. I, you know, I don't care if it's a sister, a cousin, a niece, someone has to help you because that's going to be your lifeblood when you get into these contracts.
oh yeah,
Someone, that's going to be your lifeblood. Like that's going to separate you from what you're doing now to going to the big leagues that you want to get to. So you got to
yeah,
have somebody help you with that side of the business. And you got to find someone that that you trust that can help you with that. That's I actually think that's the easy part.
well, I could do it on my own. I can,
No, don't do it.
uh,
No. Sell somebody on your vision on your dream, on what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Talk to someone about, hey, this is my vision. This is where I'm headed, and sell somebody on that idea. I don't think you've told anybody, which I understand. Sometimes you keep it to yourself, but I don't think you've told anybody what your vision is and where you're trying to go.
I mean, I have, but then again, I haven't. And you're right, because when I'm doing this, people see those numbers, they hear those numbers, and they just get distraught, man. They be, you got a girl, she want this, your sister
Yeah,
want that, your mom want. So it's like that's
but
why I
there's
think.
people out here that understand. Uh,
Yeah,
you just, maybe, and look, it's maybe our family's not the best place to go because they don't really get it all the time.
yeah,
I'm not saying your family is like, I mean, trust me, I know how it is. People think like, he's making all this big money now, and he could do this,
yeah,
do that, and they don't understand. You got to put the money back in the business and keep
yeah,
doing things.
yeah,
Um, well, like I said, I would, if you're doing it on your own, go to the small business office in Chicago, tell the people your story, tell them what you're trying to do, and they may have some people that can help you. I'm pretty sure they could probably refer you to people that are not family and not gonna try to take your money. They
man,
gotta want to see you grow and want to be part of your vision. And not
man,
just for you, for everyone listening. Um, I really believe that every time I've started a business, I get people that help me for free.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do, and I'm not saying that I'm trying to take advantage of them. Most when Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he
mm,
asked his college roommates to come on for free. He didn't
mm-hmm,
say I could pay y'all all this money, this and that,
yeah,
right? He didn't say, "Oh, I got all this finance." He didn't say that. He
yeah,
said, "This is my idea. This is my big dream. Y'all want to come with me for the ride, and let's see where it goes." And that's how all this, right? Isn't that true?
yeah, it is,
So we, for some reason, as minorities, think like we got to come out our pocket right off the bat for people. And I disagree with that because I have too many of my friends that they sold people on the idea of, look, uh, okay, that's fine. You make 25,000 a year, you make 30,000 a year, you work at the shoe store, you work at whatever, but how long you want to keep doing that?
yeah,
So look, if you spend 2 or 3 hours a week with me, right? And help me get this paperwork together, then I can make an extra 2 or 3 thousand a month. Then I can break you off. And
yeah,
that's how you have to start talking to people like, look, listen, you got to believe in me. You got to believe in my vision. You know who I am. You know where I came from. Tell people your story. Look, you know what I was doing before. Now you see me got a truck. Now you see me got
yeah,
2 trucks. Now you see me did 6 units. Now you see me doing this. So you can see I'm grinding, I'm rising above, and I'm going to the next level. But now to get to that next level, I need somebody like you that can help me do the paperwork and can help me keep that stuff straight. And then I'll be happy once we get to a certain point to turn around and start being able to take care of you in the back end. And I'm a big proponent of that. Because one, to be better, you have to be better to articulate yourself anyways. So you got to get better at selling yourself and your dream and your vision. Just even to me, like if I was want to give you a contract, you got to come to me, right? And sell me on why should I use you. So you have
exactly,
to practice that anyways. So just get good at it. Just practice it now with getting somebody. I would even if you had the money, still practice on trying to get somebody to come for free just based on who you are and believing in you. Just
yeah,
as an exercise.
yeah,
Just as an exercise to say, look, you know what? I wonder if I could do that for real. You know, and then boom, show
yeah,
up, and
yeah,
then just do right by them. And then people's like, man, hey, and he took care of me and this and that, and that's how great relationships start. Um, and that's really the truth of it is that we really always we kind of go straight to the money part and we think, well, I don't have the money. I need a grant. I need this. I need that. And we never ask anyone for help. And there's
yeah,
and there's
yeah. I
people out there
mean,
that will help you, man. I
yeah,
promise you. I promise you, it's people out there to help you.
yeah. I know. Just like how you said, it's a transition.
It's a transition. And like I said, I think your story is very powerful.
Man.
I think your story is really powerful. And I don't know the whole story. I'm sure there's more to it, but I think your story is very powerful. And like I said, there's some people out there and there's programs out there and they would support you because there's programs that to get people off the street and you did it on your own. So hell, as far as I'm concerned, they owe you money. Because they're paying organizations to create programs to get people like you and get them to doing these kind of jobs. So if you go down to any of these small business offices down in Chicago and tell these people you need help, the people are gonna help. They gonna
I'm
help
gonna
you.
do that.
They gonna help. Go down there.
I'm gonna do
Go
that.
down there and in a couple of weeks come back on and let me know what happened. To tell the people that say, look, I was on YouTube with this crazy guy.
It ain't crazy, folks.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I've done all these things, Ayden, man. Listen, I promise you, if you got any money, you were better off than where I was when I started. If you got any money in your pocket, you was better off because I was in a hole when I started the second time. I was negative. And so I had to ask people to trust and believe in me without being able to do nothing but give them promises.
Wow.
I just sold people on dreams.
I
But
mean, it wasn't a false dream.
it wasn't no false dream. It
So
wasn't a false dream. Your dream false?
no, sir.
Okay. Thank
No,
you. So there you go. You don't have no false dream either. If you go out there and you get a $200,000 contract, are you gonna pay the girl for helping you with the paperwork?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I mean, that's a no-brainer because
Yeah.
if you help me do it once, you gonna help me do it twice and three
Yeah.
times. So you gotta just get people to buy on your dream, man. And I'm telling you, you got a nice personality. I promise you, you get people. That's it. To me, this is easy. This it's too easy. It's too easy. And then with Notion them, like I said, Bowa Construction, find out what programs they have to help train people,
Okay.
and then once you find, and then sign up for their programs.
Okay.
Whatever program they have that they're taking in small minority businesses, stuff like that, sign up for one of their programs because that guy right there. And if you have a hard time and you find out like they're not responding, let me know. And then I'll make a phone call. I'll call up there and talk to them. They want something from me. So I
Oh
don't
yeah, I'm quite sure.
hey, so it's easy for me to call up there and find out what's going on,
Oh yeah.
But I like to kind of go through the process first, so that way because just the same way that you feel appreciative of where you've gotten that on your own, I kind of want you to still take those same steps, And so when you go through the process yourself and see what it's like, then if it works out, that's great. That's the best thing. And if it doesn't work out, then if you need some little help, then we can find out what happened, and maybe there's some confusion. But I believe that because I know the owner and I know him personally, I believe everything that he says and he stands for, he's going to do, just like you.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right,
Yes, sir. Yes,
there you
sir.
go. All right, man. Listen, some people put some stuff in the chat. Let's see what it says. Kanye said it best. I feel like there's people that owe me checks. Ayden go rep the land.
Oh man.
Hey man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I really do.
Man, I watch you a lot, man, and I appreciate what you doing, because I mean, even though I don't know, I just started watching you, and everything made sense, and it was what I was doing,
Right,
and
right.
I was already in the transition to changing my life around already, and that's what most of the young guys from Chicago got to really understand. Like, it's money to be made anywhere. You
Right.
just got to stick with it.
Right.
You got to want it, but you got to want it more than anything. Like, I wanted to get out the corner,
Right.
Like,
Right.
it ain't about the danger. It ain't about what's going on. It's like, it's about what you gonna have.
Right. Right.
You got a guy out there. It'd be just like this too. It'd be a young guy out there, 17. He looking raggedy. Then you got a guy out there 28, he looking raggedy. You
Right.
got a guy out there 37, he looking raggedy. 47, he looks fit. It just goes on and on and
Right.
on.
Right.
And all they talk about is who they know and what they didn't have back in the day. So I
Right.
looked at it like, is that what it is? That's what we doing it for?
Right. Right.
You know what? So I knew right then everything was watered down. Like it wasn't. It was over with. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. No, it ain't worth it. It's not. And like I said, at least you got out before anything, tragic, bad happened to you. So
Oh man, everything done. It already happened. I got a bullet in my neck right here. I got a shot in the leg. So you can make it. It's just it's God. I mean, it's God. It's what you make your life out to be. To the young guys out there that's probably watching this, it's what you make your life to be. Don't be scared. Don't be. You know what? I was working at High Park and we had to wear a suit. And one of the guys laughed at me. Like, you wearing the suit? I said,
no.
yeah, but look, he couldn't beat me.
Mm.
Sorry, YouTube, but
Uh,
he,
right, right,
and this was a grown, and not to say nothing about the older guys, because there's he was immature.
right,
He
right.
was very immature.
Right, you say
So
as a grown man was laughing at you for wearing a suit.
were laughing at me for wearing the suit, but I felt, and it goes back to what I was saying. I felt better than he felt because my
Mm.
socks was clean, his
Right.
socks were dirty. You see, my suit was clean, his clothes was dirty. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, right.
you can laugh all you want to, you're funky. You know what I'm saying? I
No,
don't.
people try to. They don't want to see you rise up. They want to put you down. They want to bring you back to where they at. They don't like to see you, doing
Yeah.
that. So no, man, hey, brother, I appreciate it, man. You getting deep today. I like that, man. I appreciate it. I know the people enjoy it, so
Oh yeah.
I know they enjoy it, man. And I appreciate people with authenticity because, this is gonna, like I said, we're gonna, do you have, somebody said, don't forget to check Chicago police camera. They watching every block. That's funny. But no, do you have a professional email? You have a Gmail? What
Yeah.
email you use? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
drop your contact information in the chat for people, and I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna want to reach out and try to help you in some capacity. All right.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
drop it in the chat. Leave your contact information, the email, somewhere somebody can contact you, and I'm sure people are gonna want to help you.
okay.
All right. Cecil Demolition, where you at? Cecil Demolition. I don't see no video.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Cecil.
He
Yeah.
got it. Maybe so. Maybe so.
All right. Well, listen. Let me know how it goes. Drop your stuff in there, and then
Yes, sir.
we'll keep moving on to tonight's message. All right.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Take care.
Take care now. Cecil Demolition, where you at? All right. So look, let's. I mean, that was. I don't even have any words for that. You know. So HK said, "Can I get behind someone who has an engineering degree and an MBA from Harvard?" Yes, more than degrees. I knew their character, and they knew me doing business development now. Perfect. So listen, today, it's interesting because the reason why I brought this conversation today is because, like I said, we've had some people reaching out to some of my podcast guests and asking for assistance, asking for help, and wanting to get them to help them on projects and bids and things like that. And then they ask the prime contractors to carry the majority of the weight and to do all the weightlifting. And so I just found it strange because I'm like, I didn't teach that. So, I want to talk about this today. I thought this was a super important topic because when you're out here and you're reaching out to primes, you're reaching out to people who you're wanting them to help you because they have capacity, they've got capital, they've got past performance. You have to bring something to the table, right? And it took multiple occurrences, multiple stories for me to want to talk about this, because I'm like, wait, so this person asked you for help and they didn't bring anything to the table? Like I didn't get that. I didn't understand it. And I'm like, wait, how does that even make sense? Um, so what I'm saying, and while we're waiting for this other person to come on, why is this not? Hold on one second. I'm trying to do something. The screen share is not working for me. Okay, let me see if this works better. All right, perfect. Okay, all right. So what I'm saying and what we want to discuss today is that um, really when you're discussing, oh yeah, like Murray said, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, um, and so when what I'm saying to people out here that's listening to us is that when you are approaching a company who's a prime contractor and you're asking that prime contractor to help you in any capacity, it's not very attractive for you to ask them to carry all of the work. Prime contractors have access to sam.gov. They have access to Deltec. They know what contracts are out there. You are bringing zero value to them by saying, hey, here's a contract, let's become teaming partners. That's not value. That's not value. So if you're wondering why do people not respond to you, why do people not want to help you, why are companies not wanting to partner with you, it's because you're not bringing anything of value to the table. And that's really what I'm finding that a lot of people are doing. They're saying to the prime, I'm going to do all the work. And then when you say, okay, well, write the proposal then. Oh, I don't know how to write the proposal. Okay. Well, price the job. Oh, I don't know how to price the job. Okay. Do you have past experience? No, I don't have past experience. So what are you going to do again? So why do you think that just simply sharing with someone an opportunity that you found on a website is value? And so what I want people to do is to focus on their strengths. I've said this in the past. If you don't have capacity, go find a company that does have the capacity. If you don't have the experience in doing that kind of work and you want to go bigger, find a company that does have experience in doing that kind of work. You want to make my job as easy as possible. If you're coming to me and you're saying, Eric, oh, I was in this conference and I saw these construction projects. Here's some construction projects that maybe we could do together. Okay, what part are you going to do? Well, I figured once you want it, then maybe I'll do just the this small piece here. That that's not of any value to me. That's not substantive enough for me. So what people are looking for, and what I do is I say, hey, here's a project. I have a person who's done this kind of work for many, many years. They can actually do A to Z of the project. They can give you a pricing of it. They can perform the work. However, because we don't have the same certs that you have, the same history of working with the government, we don't think we'd be a good candidate to get the project. But we can do all of the work. We can help you put together the proposal, help you put together the numbers, and all you're going to do is stamp your name on top and turn it into the government. That's what I do. See the difference? And that's what you should be doing. Anything less than that is going to get a no callback, a no return email, or someone's going to call and say this person has shown um, that they don't have any consideration for or any respect for me and my company and what we've built and or my time. So I want people to to be mindful and respectful of my podcast guests, their time, and the opportunities that you say that you can do, that you're working with them or sending to them, or and corresponding with them, because I do encourage everyone to reach out to these persons. But if you listen to the episodes and you listen to what people are saying, they're saying to you, if you have something that you can do that I can't do, or if you have a unique opportunity that is within your wheelhouse and your expertise, and so all you need me to do is qualify your company to do it, we'll be happy to do that. But if you're just sending people opportunities that you find on SAM and asking them to team with you because you watch one of my videos or you watch their podcast with me, that is not creating value. Small businesses, minority contractors, what is the first thing that we talk about? Do not lead with certifications. How many people tell me in here what certifications they have when we ask them the company? I've never asked anyone what certifications they have. I never asked that question. But yet, when I ask people, tell me about your business, tell me the city that you're from, tell me your name, people manage to always, without a doubt, tell me their certifications. 100%. I never even asked for them. But when you ask people what they do, it's like you got to pull that out of them. But people volunteer their certification without being asked. And I get it. It's a programming thing, right? It's we have to reprogram our minds. We have, and I understand a lot of the contractors you're dealing with, the small business specialty you're dealing with, the P-Techs you're dealing with, all these people ask about certifications. So I get it why people do that. But what I'm telling you in the real world, by the way, I'm dropping the link. If anybody want to come up the stage and talk about the issues they're having and how we can help them, this is your time today to do that. That's why we come on Wednesdays, why you don't have a contract. But my thing is that we should, again, and I'm going to say this until the freaking cows come home, we should be leading with our skill sets, our past history, what we've done, even if it was as an employee, or the strength of the team that we've assembled based on the requirements that we know of and what we can and can't do. And that's what makes it very attractive for people to come and want to work with you. That's what makes it attractive. Don't call me with a project that you don't have the ability to do. That's not doing me a favor. You don't have access to any more search capabilities and information than we have access to. So unless it's a secret project that was not publicly advertised, right, that some person told you in a back corner, or that they only sent it to you, then everything else that you're sending me that's publicly advertised on here is basically spam. So unless you, again, and I've given this example, when I won contracts as a prime, and a guy would call me up and say, "Hey, Eric, congratulations, you guys won the project. I do lightning protection systems. I've got a price for the lightning protection system already. Would you care if I sent it over to you?" That's value. That's value. When you see, hey, I'm looking online, and I'll just, we'll pull this up. We'll look at an example. Let's say we're looking at this particular optical instrument system, and well, this is sources sought. So let's look at, all right, a security shredder, right? So again, in this particular case, that's a product that's pretty easy to do. Thermal infrared cameras, network analyzer test equipment. So I just pulled up things on here just to show that, people send this stuff out and they don't even know what it is. And they don't even know how to write a proposal for it, or they don't even know how to respond to it or price it. And then they're telling people they want to be partners with them and they want to be associated with them, and without even having any context of what the requirement is. Focus on your strengths. Focus on the strengths of your team. Focus on the strengths of the people that you know. If you don't know anyone, find someone. Grab the requirement. Understand the requirement. Say, again, simply sending me information that's publicly available has no value. People have called me. People have emailed me, and they sent me wanted to send me an NDA to ask me for help. And I told them, no, I'm not signing NDA. I said, nope, I'm not signing NDA. And they said, why won't you sign an NDA? I said, because whatever you're asking me about is likely to be publicly available anyways. And so the lady said, yep, it's true. It was publicly available. And hold on. This is Ayden's email account. He put it in a private chat. Put it in a public chat. So anyone wants to reach out to Ayden from Chicago, you can. So she reached out to me, and she needed help with a proposal. She wanted me to sign an NDA. I go, why should I sign an NDA for a solicitation that you're probably looking at that's publicly online somewhere? And you want me to help you. And so when I said that, she agreed, and she told me it was publicly available, and she sent it over to me. And I took a look at it, and all I did was just go through the requirements. That's it. And I went through the requirements, and I asked her, okay, what part of these requirements do you have or can you fulfill? And what part of these requirements do you need help with? It was simple. Sometimes I'm speechless because I don't know what people want me to say or do. I'm asking the same for everyone here watching this. Please, 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 please play on your strengths. Play on your strengths. Look at this. Loan underwriting and closing services. If you sent this to me and asked me to bid this for you, and I don't do loan underwriting and closing services, but I have maybe it's a hub zone. Let's say a hub zone requirement. Maybe you have hub zone. Make sure that you have the people that know how to do this. Make sure that you have people who've done this professionally, that know how to estimate it. Make sure that you've qualified them. Make sure that you've given them all the information. What is so hard about that? What's so confusing about that? Somebody please step up and tell me. I want somebody come up here and explain to me what is so confusing about playing to your strengths. What is so confusing about finding the persons who are most qualified to do these projects, to put them on or bring them up to your team? I want to hear from somebody. I want to talk to people and find out what is the challenges with that they're facing, because I really want to try to understand this. I'm not being funny. I really want to understand it so I can see how we can help. But in the meantime, I've got somebody ready to go. Let me cue him up. My man, Liam.
What's up, Eric?
How are you, sir?
Good. How are yourself?
You're in Boston.
Sort of.
It's nice. It's a nice city, man.
Yeah. So yeah, you too. Obviously, love your stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I just got finished eating actually. But,
no worries.
When we're talking about being very good at one particular thing.
Yes, correct.
And someone struck me. Have you seen the movie Ed Snowden? I
have not seen the movie Snowden, no.
Okay. Well, one of his instructors at the CIA had a saying, it's right on my whiteboard, sometimes the more you look, the less you see. If you're...
Okay, explain.
Yeah. Having an extreme niche or target market, being very focused, that lines up with your core competency
Mhm.
would allow you to capture more business instead of being a wider
Right. Correct.
viewpoint. But
Yes.
yeah, you know, I don't know if you see what I do on LinkedIn at all.
No, tell us what you do. I mean, I saw what you wrote today.
Yeah. So no, my company is me. It's a single agent.
Okay.
I took your concept of a government contracting consultant
Yep.
and put it into the DLA space.
Gotcha.
DIBS.
Yep. Much
so-
needed, by the way. Much needed.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
listen, it's very much needed. Okay. You know, far few
Because-
people understand DIBS.
Yeah, and OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, those small and medium-sized manufacturers, not the big guys, not the Sikorsky's, not the Boeing. One of three dynamics is at play with them. One is that they're either being priced out of low dollar value contracts because of requirements, whether it be ITAR or CMMC, cybersecurity requirements. Two, those low dollar value contracts are just not ROI positive. Or three, just because DIBS low dollar value stuff, mostly simplified acquisition procedure contracts under $250,000. That's the majority of volume. They're just unaware of it. But yeah, no. So I connect because I know defense aircraft in the space. I targeted those original equipment manufacturers. I only target 3 federal supply classes, so it's not like I'm just picking randomly.
Right. So, right. Now, how do the OEMs find you, or how do you find them?
So the great thing about government contracting is the cage code through DLA.
Sure.
So what I did is I leveraged the DIBS database of contracts. You can find, because they don't, when a contract hits a date and there isn't a bidder, it keeps on running. So finding approved cage codes, approved sources of that link to OEMs that have past due contracts and zero history, target them. And just I've developed spreadsheets that are just delinquent OEMs that either have no idea what's going on or just choose not to. So just run it through a middleman. No.
That's interesting. You know, I would be interested in talking to you to find out if any of those OEMs are interested in selling.
Yeah. Well, if
you understand, I mean, I would be interested in acquiring some of them because we could run up them in the space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know the value add that we could take instead of just consulting for them. I'd be interested in seeing if any of them were thinking about selling, because maybe some of those guys have been around a long time and they're kind of tired of being in the business and they don't really care, right? So you know, like maybe the guy's older now. He's like, look, Liam, thank you. I want to do this, but I'm on my way out the door.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing, because I believe the smaller and medium-sized OEMs, the guys, if the founder is still with the manufacturer, they are experts in the field.
Sure.
So I guess that would be the only hiccup. But,
but okay, so they're the experts, but I see what you're saying. So you're saying that so they don't have anyone else that can essentially do that work?
Or maybe they're
the engineer, they're the designer.
Well, the big value added.
Yes. I noticed that at a company I looked at here in Florida, they had one like chief guy, like he was the chief engineer that essentially knew everything about the components that they made.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So that might be the case with everyone. But I'm sure that if we could find someone that we could bring in, that person could train how to use the equipment and do it, then we could replace him.
Yeah, because in the small size, I think that dynamic would be prevalent, like 10 employee machine shops or 10 associate machine shops. But getting into the medium manufacturers, because I also cross-reference databases with Dun& Bradstreet to look
Okay.
at revenue. There's companies $50, $100, $200 million a year OEMs that aren't leveraging DIBs.
Sure.
So I think because there are larger corporations here, so I don't know if that also might be a stopgap.
It would not. I was told to not stop, but I was told to stay at around like a $30 million range.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if there's a $50 million company that the guy says, hey, like you see, he's not leveraging DIBs, and the guy's like on his way out the door. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Well, I guess, yeah. Well, I didn't mean it like I have no problem providing services to $100 million a year companies, but
right.
I wouldn't approach them right out of the gate.
Of course not. Right. You should prove your concept, make sure it works, and then and I agree with that. No, and I appreciate you sharing that experience. Can you tell us what was the name of the movie? Can you drop that in there so people can reference the movie that you
Yeah, no. So there are a set of great movies that I watch for entrepreneurship. One, War Dogs, you just the whole basis of government contracting. Lord of War, that's an intriguing story. Ed Snowden or Snowden, The Social Network, The Founder, about what's his name? Ray Kroc with McDonald's. Okay. But yeah, I remember starting just eating up all of your content, and then recently on LinkedIn, there's a guy, I don't know if you mind me mentioning him, just another community. Okay. Neil McDonald.
Yep, I know. I'm aware of Neil, but no. No, listen, for me, I think that people might see me as competition, but I don't really see people as competition just because, like you said, there's so many ways that you can spend this. And again, I don't focus on DIBs. I don't focus on GSA. That's other areas that people can tackle, right? And then I had a lady that she does teaching and training, but she creates systems for people who have large sales groups. So if you've got 13 or 20 sales people, then she teaches government contracting for a sales team, right? That's another vertical. Like that's the whole nother market that, again, we don't, I don't tackle that. I don't, and I don't even attempt to do that because I've never worked in a corporate structured government contracting firm, right? Yeah. And even though I've interviewed some of those people or persons, they've never really shared exactly how that structure exists. No one doesn't really share with me like how that structure breaks down or where they learned it from or where, like I asked these questions and no one's like, well, I went over to this place. They were like, oh, it's a combination of different courses that I took and executive leadership classes and, IBM train. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So there's no one like go-to place that I can pay or send people to do that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No, I love what you're doing. I'm very interested in further discussing this with you offline, only because I think that we really, for the conversation today, what was happening was people have been approaching my podcast guests claiming that they had an opportunity for them to work together and they couldn't provide any of the resources to support this publicly available bid, essentially. And so when people ask me why are they not succeeding, they're not telling me that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like no one's saying, well, Eric, I didn't do my homework.
Yeah.
No one's going to be honest with me and say, oh, Eric, I didn't really do my homework. I just sent them this bid that I thought we could do. Well, I could do like 5% of it, but I was hoping they do the other 95%, and then I would get my 5%, and then it'd be happy.
Yeah, I guess a more effective strategy, in my opinion, would be finding recently awarded contracts. Whether one vehicle that comes in mind just in the defense space is the DoD. They publish all contracts for every business day above a certain threshold, just
Sure.
attacking those primes just with a very niche area of what you're good
Right.
at, which may be minute 5% of the total value of the contract, but on a big enough contract, that is a sizable amount of revenue.
And that's the example that I gave. Someone, when I won a prime contract, the guy called me and says, I do lightning protection. Like, that's it. Like, I
Yeah.
know you're building this building and the infrastructure, but I do the lightning protection that goes up on the side at the top of the roof. That's it.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, okay, great. Send me the price on the lightning protection. I'm not married to the lightning protection guy.
Yeah.
It's like lightning protection to me, I don't have any affinity with special lightning protection company, right? So you could care less who gets it. But for that lightning protection guy, if he does that 100 times, he sold 100 lightning protection jobs,
Yeah.
right? And it might be, for all we know, a 80% markup because it's right. It's a
Yeah.
very, very specific niche that he might already have purchased all the equipment, all the rods, because they're the
Yeah.
same, right? They don't change based on state or location because it's lightning protection.
Yeah, because even in my case, if I go onto a contract that has one of my OEMs and say Boeing, well, Boeing's marking up their price of the component to meet with their cybersecurity standards, which is by just default going to be far more expensive, far more overhead and just monthly costs than what mine are. So I get to mark up my services and my component that I'm selling far higher than I would have in a normal circumstance, just because that threshold is so much higher, which is a dynamic which is not normally thought of when you're competing against a large company. So.
Well, and it's not, and I'm glad you brought that up. And I explain that to people when I started bidding and I start looking at sample cost proposals from some of these large primes, they were putting in 40% overhead,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know any small business that puts in 40% overhead.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but they were able to justify it because of the way that they took the overhead rates. And so they were able to justify that. But they were putting in 40% overhead over and above, like on top of with the profit and everything else. And so, like you said, that's a huge difference between what you would have done and what I would have done versus what a Boeing or a large prime would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most people don't know that. And most of the kind of contracts that we have, we don't have access to the type of information you have or Dibs offers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they buy it.
Yeah, that's why I love it. It's the amount of publicly accessible information through Dibs, on top of FPDS and all the other just regular components, just allows you to be so much more prepared going into a scenario.
Liam, some people on here are talking about your age. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay.
Well, what'd they ask?
Well, someone said, well, Maria put, you're never too young to learn. Someone put, my sons are now watching for the first time. So I guess you brought a different.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
no, that's, I mean, I love it. I like it. Like that's the kind of, for me, one of the things, and again, I mean, you've watched my content, so for me, my whole mission was to make this publicly available for people to know it. Like, you get me? Like, that's my whole objective. The government does a crappy job of telling all of this goodness that exists.
Mm-hmm.
And DLA in particular, I'm like, I spoke to them. I've spoke to the Navy about their website, and I'm like, why does your site suck? They said, because we can't get money from Congress to improve the site. They only approve work to do the mission. Yeah. So would you have a new ship or you want a new website? You want a better protection for the soldiers or you want a new website, right? And so that's the way that they see it. Unfortunately, it's good for people like you and I who figured it out, right? And so people like you that says, look, rather than, and you might still play video games, but probably, balance your time. I mean, so, most 19-year-old kids are playing video games. So like, I mean, it looks like you have a gamer chair.
This is just a chair that I have to get comfortable with for sitting at this desk.
Okay. All right. I know it was a gamer chair with the speakers and everything in it.
No, that was just a regular desk chair.
All right, cool.
No.
Awesome.
In terms of my age, I just coming out of high school. I went straight full time because college. I have my own opinions on college. But yeah, I worked 80 hours a week at a grocery store, pulling trucks, doing stuff like that. And then just this opportunity came across. I think I just randomly found one of your videos by the way of the YouTube algorithm, and or even and just watching War Dogs, and then did my due diligence, and
Found a place, a space for yourself.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's a good story. That's a good story. Listen, definitely connect with me because I want to talk about this OEM thing. I think it's bigger. It's probably I don't know dibs. I'm not trying to learn it. I don't want to learn DLA. But I'm not, look, like anything else, I have what I do well. But I'm definitely 120% interested in buying some of these OEMs because I have friends that currently sell products to Boeing. They service them. And so they have their own OEMs that support them, and then they resell it to Boeing because they've got the relationships and they've got some other clearances and things, whatever. So there is some crossover where even if we didn't go direct to Prime and DLA, I could go to some of these other sources and sell to them. So there is some of that exists. And also in the past, we've looked at R&D contracts to reverse engineer components.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's also another area that I'd be interested in pursuing. But what I'm going to do differently, like I said, is I'm putting a team around actually making these acquisitions so that then and so it's twofold. One is then now there is a diverse supplier that's providing these same components.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's one of the strategies that we looked at. And then also we have a way to scale that business and grow it.
Yeah,
so no. I think it's a great, and so definitely don't be a stranger, man.
Yeah. Speaking of just don't being a stranger, I'm launching an organic content marketing plan you're looking to. I'm looking for whether it's active duty or retired personnel. Just communicate an ethical mission of my company. Focus on the warfighter. It's called Warfighter of the Week. So I don't know if you know anybody or anybody in the chat who's interested in possibly just being interviewed by myself. Just on your experience within the military. I am not particular about MOS, duty station, anything you did in the military. Just to listen to you and your experiences and to just hear your opinions on stuff and problems and then just
Okay, I just dropped in the chat Eric Doc Wright. He's on LinkedIn. He was on my podcast. Super cool guy. Reach out to him. He's got a ton of veterans that he helps coming back from that they come back from wherever they come back from, and now they're basically coming back to civilization, and then he helps train them to become project managers. But he has I guarantee you, he could fill up your show.
Yeah, that would be great because it's just
that's the guy that you want right there, Eric Doc Wright.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll pop into him and
tell him I sent you.
Okay, all right, perfect. I appreciate it, Eric.
Yeah, tell him I sent you. He's very energetic guy, man. That guy's like, I mean, he's like, hey, Eric, hey, he's like, jump. I'm like, okay, but that's what he does. And so here, I'm pull him up. You'll like him. Look here. This is guy right here. Let me show you. That's him right there. That's my man, Eric.
That's perfect.
Okay, and so as you can see, look at his face, look at his beard. You can see he's got that kind of. You see his aura, right? You can see, you can see his aura already, right?
Yeah.
So that's the guy you want right there. And so he helps, like you see, it says Military Transition Academy podcast. So he's the guy that you want to talk to on that note.
Solid. All right, I'll give him a shot on LinkedIn.
Yeah, give him a shot on LinkedIn. If you've got any problems, let me know. My LinkedIn gets filled up so fast, man. It's hard to check. Like between spammers and other people, it just
Yeah.
And then I mean there's regular people, but it's always filling up, so it's just hard to maintain it. But
Yeah, I got it. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed I went looking for Maria on LinkedIn the other day. I couldn't find her.
you can find Maria.
I couldn't find Maria.
Maria. Well, you know what? Maria also has a common Latin name, Maria Martinez.
Yeah, I searched for her in your connections. I couldn't find her.
Hold on. Let me find Maria for you. She should be on mine. Maria, they couldn't find you. You see that? Here, I'm dropping Maria in the chat. That was actually you were smart because that's a better person to reach than me is Maria. You're smart.
Yeah.
That's a good move. I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good
don't
move.
always go straight for the head. You go
No,
for
that's a good move.
board.
I like that. That's a good move. I see where you're going with that. It's like I'm trying to find Maria. I couldn't find Maria. I see that. But you know, it's funny because I tell people these things and they don't listen.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, Maria knows how to find me.
Yeah, because it's like if I do a lot of work with DLA Aviation because that's my target subordinate command. But it's not just the problem is revolving around the agency. And I have future plans going into DLA Land and Maritime. But I'm not looking to hawk the top dogs right away or a contracting officer, but just go to the competition advocate, go to small business. But yeah, just stuff like that.
No, I like it. Look at that. Hold on. Bruce says 19. That's insane. He's way ahead of the game in life. He's focused.
Yeah.
Willie says young games. Hey, man. I love it.
Guys, connect with me on LinkedIn. It's literally my first and my last name.
Let me see if I can find you, and I can drop it in here while we speak.
I can throw it on
our
chat.
You came up. I got you right here.
You got it? All right, perfect.
All right. Listen, let's blow them up. Here's his LinkedIn. All right. I'm dropping it right now. There you go.
That would be me.
Look at that. Liam. Look at Liam. They already want to take your program. They say, are you teaching it yet?
No.
Liam's like, no, he's just doing it, man. You know, it's funny. I was watching this video with Grant Cardone today, and he's like, all these books. I was like a TikTok or something. He's like, every these guys talking about think and grow rich and think. He goes, where's the action, man? You got to do something. It's like, where's the action? You got to do something. You know.
Yeah,
so Liam, you know, really quick, what did you obviously you said you watched my content. Like, when did you say, okay, I'm gonna do something? How's that? Share that with people.
Well, I gave myself a timeline. I used to use Google Drive, but I migrated over to O365 because of security reasons, but that's beyond the point. But I gave myself a timeline, specific dates, actions tied with those dates. I gave myself what you would call plan of action milestones, and I stuck to it. And I was true to it. But yeah, because giving yourself dates in a specific timeline, and then a way to achieve that timeline will allow you to be focused. I think Eric's gone. I can already see on my phone you guys are blowing up my LinkedIn, and I appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know where he went. I'm still live, right? I can't see the YouTube thing. I'm still live. YouTube.
Yes, you're still live.
Okay, perfect. All right, I wasn't
sure. Talking. I was playing with some cameras. I got cameras over here and cameras back over here.
Yeah.
And so Brandon, my son, has told me that if I record from the cameras, so you're looking at the computer camera, but I have live actual cameras, right, recording from different angles. So he told me to try that, and then that way, when we cut and paste the content, we'll have a higher quality when we make like reels and things like that, because you're not gonna have the camera quality, not through the computer filter. So I just gave you your spotlight, man. I guess.
Yeah, no, I was not sure if I was lying or not.
All right,
Um,
go back to it. So tell them. All right, what happened now? So you started.
Yeah,
You gave
no,
some
no,
timeline, and then what?
yeah, plan of action, milestones, stick to the timeline, and detail what needs to be done with each component. Yeah, I described that already. Just trying to think what else.
And then you started.
Just,
I mean, you just did it.
yeah, be specific. Go out and do it. Don't give yourself any excuses. Yeah, a big motivating factor was also my job at the time. I don't know, because getting a team and doing my job was fun, but it's hard work, and it's not something you want to do for the rest of your life. But
Right.
yeah, so
Right. No, man, I like it. Good stuff, brother.
yeah, I
Thank
guess
you, man.
one other thing would be just if you're afraid of taking a risk, I always say, whether it's to my friends, even my dad, standing at the ledge, it's time to jump. Question is whether or not you have the self confidence to do it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Wise words spoken from a 19-year-old. No,
Yeah.
But no, listen, again, I think that we can learn from anyone. And I'm happy that he came up here and was not afraid to share his story. And also, what he did was he said that he literally picked a specific market, and then even within that market, he's picked 3 codes, so focus areas even within this huge marketplace. Because a lot of times I think when people hear dibs and DLA, they're like, oh, I can just buy and sell all types of products there. And while you can, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And I had lunch with a guy today and I explained the same thing to him. He's like, well, I could do janitorial and I could do landscaping. I go, okay. I said, well, I've got to pull up this much data.
Yeah.
Right?
It's because
You know,
yeah, it's not like selling on Amazon or something,
right.
because you're dealing with subordinate commands of the military. If you end up spreading your operations too thin, attacking too many different places at once, it's just not going to go anywhere.
And I explained to him, I said, okay. I said, so if you take a look at it, for example, I said Homestead Air Force Base. I said, did you know that they might have 37 different installations on that base? And so again, if you're talking about janitorial contracts, well, you might be in a building that has 19 different commands in that building. And so to get that whole building, you might have to deal with 20 different people. Now, if you want to then tackle on a whole nother focus area like a landscaping, then that's a whole nother set of people that essentially we've got to go figure out who they are and build relationships with. I said it's just really it's not, you're not adding anymore. You're taking something to the whatever third or fourth, fifth power now.
Yeah.
And so I try to, and he goes, no, I get it now. I'm like, dude, it's just very complex and it's really difficult to do. And people who've never done this before, they don't understand that. And that again goes back to the action. Get involved, jump in, and you'll see the complexities behind it. And you'll understand why we tell you to focus in on a niche. So.
Yeah.
Did you have any previous experience selling to DLA or DIBS prior?
No, this is the first company, first experience. Obviously, there were growing pains, but
did you have any relationships with OEMs prior to this?
No, because once you either get, if they don't give you authorized distributorship right off the call, which is a rarity, get in a meeting with them, pitch them a capability deck, and show them. Obviously, the ideal case would be that you have, if you don't have past performance, but just show them, just acquire a couple authorized distributorships and just say, hey, I already do it for this OEM, this manufacturer, and then go after them. But there's so many fish in the sea. If you're finding difficulty, there's no point in just stopping at one. Just move on.
Right. All right. Hey man, I appreciate you, brother. I do thank you, man, for coming up. everyone has you on LinkedIn, so you got a lot of people that know me.
Yeah, I gotta go handle that.
And we'll. I'm actually. Someone recommended that I do LinkedIn Live.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know people in the manufacturing space. They're saying that's going to be the new webinar, like that.
That's what everyone says to me. So I may try that tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, I love it. It's great functionality.
Well, it makes more sense because now you can see the actual people and what they do next to you, not just random people.
Yeah, because YouTube is like a social platform. It's considered the second largest search engine in the world.
Right.
And then LinkedIn is a professional networking platform, and you can see what other people do.
We also we have no data on each other here.
Yeah, and
there's no information about the next person. We can't connect. We can't foster relationships here.
Yeah, and Microsoft owns LinkedIn, and a lot of productivity is off of O365, so you can just link it with that, which is nice.
Oh, nice. Thanks. All right. Well, if I join tomorrow, make sure you come and support.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
See you later.
All right, see you. Thanks. Hey, man, I think that was amazing. I'm happy for those who were able to come up and witness that. I'm happy for those who were able to come on and share tonight. I'm blown away. I think this has been an incredible session. And like I said, I really want to, I want to drive that point home of really knowing your business and knowing your area, your niche. And again, for those of you who are watching who's saying, well, Eric, I don't have a specialty, I don't have a niche yet. Find someone that does. Find a person that does have that specialty that you can help support. And that's what Ian said he does, is that he actually goes out. Liam, sorry. He went out and he became distributors with these OEMs. And so now he had OEMs who manufacturers that make these products. And he used his knowledge of government contracting and DLA and DIBs to basically resell their products to the government. That's the same thing Wesley did when he did it with canned goods. So, it's out here. There's no one can tell me that this is not here. And I'm not going to allow you to tell me that someone is standing in your way or stopping you from doing this, because we provide too much support in our programs. And I know someone said it's a lot of content. The reason why it's so much content is because we really have to give you all the information, right? There's a lot of things that you need to do. There's a lot of things that you need to focus on. So for me, if I don't give you all that information, if I don't give you all of these things, when you get to that point where you need something, you're not going to have it. And so you're going to say, well, I wish I had this part. Like someone said today, they want to do the consulting. Well, inside of Academy 3.0 is the consulting program, right? That's inside of here, right here, how to be a consultant. So that's inside of the program on how to be a consultant, is inside of Academy 3.0. And so we have publicly available on our YouTube channel, we do have where we show you what's inside of 3.0. And I think people should buy the lifetime program. I really do. I think you should buy the lifetime program because if you buy the lifetime program, then you don't have to worry about how fast you have to go through that information, or not having the information when you need it, or maybe, because we do talk about what do you do post-contract. So what happens post-contract? We want to make sure that you know that as well. So maybe it takes you a little bit longer to get to a contract phase. And then what do you do after the contract? And then, like I said, we support you with Tuesday calls, learning sessions, office hours, and more. So we're here to try to support people in different capacities. And, that was just one example of it right there. And so, like I said, my man came on today, Ayden. Thank you, Ayden. Shout out to you for coming up and being strong and telling us what it is that you do and how we can help. And then Liam coming up here today. But no, I want people to focus on their strengths. I want people to focus on what they're good at, and find people companies that can help support you, man. I really do. All right. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I hit my hour and a half mark. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Any questions? Definitely. Let me drop the numbers on the screen. Here's the number to call. Erica's standing available. Again, as always, follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. And then, like I said, if you've got any questions, snapshot that image, send us an email, send us a text, and then we'll try to help the best as we can. Thanks, guys.